Welcome to How I Built My Small Business. I'm Anne McGinty, host of the show. While full-length guest episodes are on hold for the holidays, I've prepared a collection of short, impactful episodes to keep you inspired until season 2. Let's dive in.
Every year, people are so worried about college admissions. People are so worried about grades and test scores, and that hyper focus on that causes us to lose sight on the things that we all know as older adults is really important, whether we start a business, whether we're working with our family, whatever our goals are for ourselves. It isn't the grades, the test scores, and the college admissions that is the long-term driver of our own health and well-being and our happiness.
I think that there's a real need for critical thinking because there's going to be so much information coming at you, and the people that will really succeed will be able to decipher information, be able to synthesize information, be able to ask the right questions. So I think curiosity is an absolute must. So I think critical thinking and curiosity are two of the biggest going forward.
Almost all aspects of our society are really struggling right now in terms of the lack of creativity and connection. Dr. Vivek Murthy, the US Surgeon General, put out this huge report stating that loneliness and disconnection is the biggest epidemic of our time. And what are we going to do about it?
If we focus on executive functioning skills, connection, we know that loneliness is an epidemic. 70% of Gen Zers and millennials say that they feel lonely. That's an issue. We know the social affects the academic. What happens for kids is that they get stressed out, and then that leads into a shame spiral, and that leads to task paralysis. The reality of kids today is they have such an information overload. There's so many inputs coming at them. And the thing that we can do as adults is reduce those inputs, whether that's if they're a teenager with a phone, to take off the notifications, right? Or to turn off their phone for a certain number of hours every day and every week so that they're truly offline. And then the other piece around it is coming from a place without feeling judged. Once you have that sense of safety, you're more willing to expand.
If you look at some of the data, computer science, which has been the great major to get employed and to do everything else, it's maybe going to be less in demand because Gen AI is going to write code. It does write code. And so for everybody who's been training on how to write code, maybe you're not going to need that skill set, right? Because maybe you're just going to need to be able to ask the right questions and have Gen AI build code. So this argues in some ways for a more liberal arts education. We're kind of, the pendulum may be swinging back again towards critical thinking.
There's some pretty incredible research that's been coming out about the impact of phones and screens and sort of digital interactions as being really hard to process and manage when you're at that age, and kind of the addictive nature of a lot of sort of the way that these tool services have been set up can have a really profound impact on the mindset of a child or a teen.
How can we help you become the best version of you that you want to be? Kids come out how they come out. They have personalities, they have gifts, they have strengths, they have opportunities for growth. A thing that you can do at home with your kids, if they're in middle school or high school, even younger kids. But I always have them self-evaluate, like on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Tell me where you are in terms of organizing, planning, prioritizing, starting and completing tasks, and being adaptable when something doesn't go as planned.
I tell my son, he's like, "Oh, this is the worst," or "I'm the worst. I'm so dumb when he can't get a homework right." And I'll be like, "If that's what you think, then that's what you are." I said he's probably getting tired of me saying this, but then I caught him in the act the other day. His sister was going through a spiral of like, "Oh, I can't get this. I'm so stupid." And he goes, "If that's what you think, that's what you are." And I said, "You listened?" He goes, "That's what mom says." I was like, "Oh my God, hallelujah. My work is done."
Thanks for listening to this bite-sized episode of How I Built My Small Business. If you enjoyed it, share it with someone who might find it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe so you're ready when season 2 drops. As always, have a great day.